Chilly, feels like fall. Just figured I'd relax out here today and have a little coffee before I head into the land of 12-hour days, working so I can get some cheese to buy some more synthesizers. That's basically what we're doing here. So if anyone pops in, just do a little Q&A. If you guys want to know anything, see what's happening, you can. Otherwise, we'll just be relaxing, enjoying the morning. I was going to go... What's up, Faniel? I was going to go live on the laptop and cover a couple things, but there wasn't much interest in me on the internet. So I figured I'd just pop out here and see what you guys are up to. What's up, Conductive? It's chilly here, man. It's like fall this morning. Summer's over, man. It comes quick, goes quick. So yeah, it's morning already. Damn, morning already. You close your eyes, then you wake up, and suddenly, well, bam! You gotta start your day all over again. What's happening, Loonsberry Pedals? You working on any new pedal designs these days? Got any projects in the works? I was trying to, I brought back that synth show last night. A bunch of people were asking for me to bring it back, so I was like, okay, I'll bring the synth show back. So I did an episode of the synth show last night on the Suno Bueno Polivera, and it was pretty cool. You Loonsberry Pedals, you give us any hints what you're working on, or is it all top of secret? What's up, Eternian? Man, if you guys didn't check out the jam last night, I highly recommend it. It was maybe one of the best jams I did ever, actually. The improv lyrics flowed cool, story was cool, the sound was insane. I don't know how the mix sounded so good last night, but everything worked so good together. I had the monopoly and the malevolent paired up again and layered, and I had two really cool patches going. What's up, Thomas Yam? What's up, Trader to the Living? And I had the Mantis going with a nice little sequence powered from the Op 6. And then I had a Berlin School patch running, just looping on the wave state. And then I had the Hydrasynth going on an arpeggiated, it's almost like I guess I would call it like a glass piano patch. So, and then the lyrics were cool. It was called the Planet of the Chimpanzees. I think that's what I called it, but I might have named it something different after. I don't know. Can't remember. Yeah, it sounded really good. I thought it was good. A lot of times I don't even know what those jams even sound like till after, because it's all improv. I do it all just on the spot. So I don't even know what I'm doing. And then after, when I go listen back, that's when I'm like, oh, that was shit, but that was good. Just talking about whatever you want to talk about, man. We're just kind of hanging out this morning, having a coffee before I got to go into work. I got about an hour, so I figured I'd pop out on the deck, enjoy the beautiful sunshine beaming in my face, and hang out with you guys. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Tall and Fat's baby brother. Cool, man. Very cool. Yeah, I'm excited for that. People have been asking, what are we going to do about the Ultimate Frequency Championship? That's been just postponed a little bit because I had some issues going on with some private matters, anyways, that were more pressing to deal with than running a musical competition, you know. So, what am I doing for a living? I'm disrupting the whole synthesizer and gear tube scene with a revolutionary new style, blitzkrieging the algorithm with insane musical and satirical content that has lifted the veil on the synthesizer tube, gear tube scene being so damn serious. Indonesian coffee, sweet. D Hill Project, yeah, I got a coffee right here. I got a black, baby, only drinking black, you know. Advice for 20s, men in their 20s. Advice for men in their 20s. My advice for men in their 20s would be to work out as much as you can. Take up martial arts, preferably jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, or MMA, and travel as much as you possibly can and see as much cool stuff as you can. If you can go to other countries, you got the means, do that, and just work hard, save as much money as possible, put away as much money into a high interest savings account or in the market, and just be regular about investing your money consistently every paycheck, and let that compound interest grow. And then by the time you're 40, you should be all set. You should have a good little nest egg going. You should have a ripped body, so you should be able to pick up some chicks easily, and you should be nice and strong and healthy, and you should have a good mindset because you've experienced different cultures and stuff. That's would be my advice for someone in their 20s. And if you're not going to university and doing something legit, because university experience is pretty cool from my opinion, but I don't know about these days. These days it seems pretty crappy. I'd go get a trade if I could, because you can get paid while you work. You can get your trade. You start a trade when you're in your say 20 years old. You got your journeymans by 23, 24, and now you've got a epic skill set for life. You can take the money you earned while you were in your apprenticeship, and then you can travel for a little bit, see the world, because you've saved up a little bit of money, and then you can come back and start your trade at around 26, get right into it, and off you go. What's up, Ronald H? That's my advice for someone in their 20s, man. But like, if you want to just take minimum advice, start working out, start a martial art, and make sure you're saving money every paycheck. That's what I do. So yeah, what we're saying, we're just we did the jam last night. I got a couple things in mind. A lot of people were wondering if I was going to go back and do that synth show, and so I was like, okay, let me get back in the saddle, because it was a breaking news style thing. So people were wondering, how come Samurai's not breaking the news? And I tried to tell everybody that I just wasn't really into doing pre-recorded videos anymore. I found it kind of boring. Nexus, my wife's boyfriend says he likes your stream. Yeah, most dudes' wives' boyfriends like my stream. That's what I've heard anyway. That's what I've heard. So thanks. Cheers, Nexus. Appreciate it. It's kind of be a common trend for most guys' wives, boyfriends to enjoy this type of content. So advice for the men in their 70s. If I was a man in my 70s, I would, it's hard to give advice for a man in his 70s because I didn't go through my 70s yet. So that would be a question for Echo Craft. Echo Craft would have some good advice for someone in their 70s. But if I just were off the top of my head, what would be some good advice for someone in their 70s would be to, if you have any relationships that you've let wither, or you have any friends or family that you've had disagreements with over the years and you've not talked to, and your stubbornness has put a divide between you two, I would try to mend those relationships before you end up passing away or they pass away, and heal all those old stubborn wounds of pettiness, and start patching up all those drywall holes that you've created in your house over the years. You know what I mean? I mean that spiritually, like patching up those holes as you get ready to move on into the shadow realm, and more specifically, when others move on into the shadow realm, you won't have this feeling of guilt that you should have called them, or should have popped over there and said hello, things like that. That's what I would recommend I would recommend that for anybody now, and for someone in their 70s, maybe that's probably, because you don't want to be riddled with guilt in the fourth quarter of your life for being stubborn about having pettiness in relationships over the years for no reason. That's my opinion. But What do I know, man? I ain't 70. Yeah, don't buy a $20,000 shower. Mm, yeah, that's probably good advice, Thomas Sean. Nexus database, what did he say? He said something pretty funny. My wife's boyfriend is super cool and super strong. He keeps us safe. Yeah, fair enough, man. What if you don't have any friends? I mean, if you don't have any friends, you don't have any friends. That's your problem. But, you know, personally for me, I prefer to keep my friend circle very, very small. I've, in the last couple of years, I kind of ventured a little bit and I was getting a little bit more loose with who I was associating with and allowing certain different people into my circle. And against my better judgment, I shouldn't have done that. So now I really keep a real good fortress around my friend circle and who I let in, who I trust, who I can count on, and I just don't let any randoms in anymore. Basically, that's kind of where I'm at, you know. You got to be careful, man, who you let in your zone, because you got there's a lot of people out there who won't have your best interest in mind, but there's a lot of real good people who do, you know. I mean, the person who gives you a call randomly for no reason and doesn't want anything is a special person, you know. The person who pops over your house to say hello for no reason, not want anything, that's a special person. The person who, like, when you're in a time of need or trouble, you don't even have to ask them to be there. They're there. That's the kind of people you want to surround yourself with at any stage in life, but specifically in the second half of the game. That's what I think anyway. It's very important to cultivate your tribe and your crew, because stuff's crazy these days, man. People are crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know if you guys notice, but a lot of people don't know what the hell's going on anymore. So it's weird. A lot of people don't know, like, what the frig is even happening these days. The thing is, but this is the difference. I don't know what's happening these days, but I know that. I know I don't know what's happening. But most people don't know what's happening, but they're pretending like they know what's happening, and that's terrifying to me. I'm like, dude, you got no idea, do you? And they're like, you got no idea. I'm like, yeah, I know. Dude, I know I don't. But you think you do. That's what's crazy. You think you got an idea what's going on. Have you guys noticed this too? What I've noticed recently, and I've been like testing it out in the public, testing it with different people, is I'll see a video. Now think about how vast YouTube is and how many pieces of content are on YouTube. I shouldn't go to work and sit down with a 65-year-old and I bring up an obscure video that I saw, and as I'm describing it, they're like, I already saw that. I'm like, what? Then I'll come home, talk to the missus. She'd be like, yeah, I already saw that. And I'm like, okay. Then another crazy random obscure video. Hey, did you see that there video? Or no, I had seen this crazy thing the other day. And like, I saw that. So like, how is everybody from different walks of life and different cultures and everything in the vast amount of content on YouTube? How is everybody seeing the same thing? Because my interests are crazy. You know, my interests and the algorithm should be crazy. I'm into flat earth, MMA, reggae, and synthesizers. That's the 4 things I basically am into. And YouTube just seems to want to push cop body cam videos to me. And everybody seems to be talking about cop body cam videos, people getting arrested. And they're pushing me crap like that. So I'm like, what is that all about? So it's like very, very weird. But yeah, that's what I've been noticing these days. So you got to be careful about the content you're consuming too, man, because I feel like there's a very streamlined, highly curated. You think it's just for you. You think the algorithm is actually just for you. And that's kind of like the illusion they've been telling you. It's like, you remember when you sat down back in the day, or if you still got a TV and you sit down to watch TV, and you be watching TV and someone across the street and in the next town, and you're all watching the same show, and you're all seeing the same commercials, and you switch a channel, but everyone's not watching the same stuff. I feel like YouTube is kind of like sneakily made you think that you're choosing your own content when you're not actually choosing it anymore. YouTube is like directly feeding you content, right? So, and they're feeding everybody the same content. There's no reason everybody should be getting fed cop friggin' body cam video. You know what I mean? Or police interrogation interviews, you know, like, woman confesses suddenly to the most gruesome murder. You will not believe what the police find in her closet. It's like, what? It's like, what? What's up, Hans Volt? What's happening? Yeah, so that's what's friggin' popped up. And then, I mean, have you guys ever went to the, on YouTube, you go over to the sidebar and you click trending, and then you go music, and just scroll down through the 20 top trending music videos? It's friggin' mental. Absolutely mental. It's like, this is what the top trending crap is? And it's not even what you think. It's not even pop music. It's not even, I don't know what kind of music it is. And I'm not even saying it's bad music. It's just the weirdest kind of music. And the videos are all just like, almost like hand cams and people standing around cars and like jumping around and very little creativity. And if it's not that, then not to bother wasting my time to see what trending, because most is garbage. Yeah, I don't think, so this is how I look at it, Echo. I don't look at it as a waste of time, because I like to keep my finger on the pulse of what's popular. So I like to see what the normies are all into, and I like to see what the system, in this case YouTube, is pushing on everybody. So it's very interesting. It's crazy. It's weird. Yeah, try it sometime, man. Go check it out and watch the videos. They're either weird, like friggin' demonic rituals, or they're crappy, trying to be like lo-fi. I call it like lo-fi camera work, where everyone's just kind of like jumping around cars and stuff in the street, and it's always like at night or something. Weird. Yeah, those interviews with killers. Yeah, I'm about to. I was just in the house there doing some computer programming. I was programming a program to program some things for some programmers who wanted to program. So that's what I was programming this morning. Working and lurking. What's up, Georgie G's? Yeah, we're working. We're just chilling now before we go into work. Ronald H. Mental health and physical health. What's your opinion in their relation? What to prioritize first? If you prioritize your physical health, your mental health will follow right along. Right? That's my opinion. If you go out and you start because here's what happens. If you're depressed, or you got anxiety, or anxious, or, you know, whatever, any of those things, if you start working out, now you've created a routine for yourself, and you've instantly created a positive feedback loop, because every time you go do that, you've accomplished something. Then as you do it more, you start to transform and sculpt your body into a better version of itself, and you've basically entered into a journey of self-evolution that you can document and visualize in real time, it happening in front of you. So just when that happens, your mental health will start to get better, because now you've created a nice routine, you've got dedicated, you're sticking to something, you're transforming your body into something more positive, you feel better, you got more energy, you're sleeping better. Chicks around are starting to like look at you more when you're walking through the supermarket picking up some avocados, you know, that kind of thing. You'll be in the bookstore reaching up to grab a copy of The Art of War, and you get that tricep flex going, and then that pretty little thing walks over, and she's like, "Hey, how you doing?" You're like, "Not bad, how you doing?" She's like, "Can I help you with anything?" You're like, "Well, if you wouldn't mind, can you get me all the other books by these Japanese writers, because I'm really into studying the philosophy of the Japanese samurais, etc., etc. And she'd be like, for real? And you'd be like, yeah. And she'd be like, all right, let me go round up a couple books for you. I'd be like, okay, cool. I'll be over here having a coffee. Just pop back with a stack of books. And if you want, I'll grab you a coffee too. And she's like, but I'm working right now. Be like, well, listen, how about this? How about I'll stick around for a little bit and I'm going to look at these books. When you grab a break, why don't you just pop over? We'll have a coffee and then you can be on your way because I appreciate you helping me with these books today. And she'd be like, really? You'd be like, yeah. And then that's what you do. Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about the synth drip these days. I wanted to break out the synth sessional smoking jacket this morning because it's a little bit chilly with the blue blockers. A lot of people like it. What's your favorite book? Confucius is my favorite book, yeah. I like the Book of Five Rings is probably my favorite book. I got the Book of Five Rings, the Celestine Prophecy, the War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Yeah, that's probably my favorite books. Yeah, I think I'm going to start smoking cigars, actually, and popping a few nicotine patches. Nicotine seems to be the big thing these days. I'm all over the internet, and everyone's talking about how good nicotine is, and I'm like, is nicotine good? First, is nicotine addictive? Second, is nicotine good? Because I know nicotinamide, I can't remember how you say it, is a receptor that's been shown in lots of studies to help with Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. It also has an effect on stopping viruses from entering the cell and stuff like that. Just type up nicotine, go Google PubMed, nicotine, Parkinson's, and then just go down the rabbit hole and read all the studies and stuff like that. It seems to be an interesting compound, to say the least, put it that way. And I know that back in the day, when they used to actually smoke real tobacco, see, because the thing about cigarettes and all that is it's not the nicotine that messes you up. It's all the chemicals inside it. And apparently it's all the chemicals in the cigarettes that they put into it, the additives that actually create the crazy addiction and actually mess you up. It's not actually the nicotine. So that's an interesting thing, right? So you remember when they had all the big tobacco companies come in front of Congress and there was those hearings and stuff, and they were like, nicotine is not addictive or something like that. They were actually telling the truth because it was all the other stuff in the cigarettes that were addictive and not the nicotine, I think. Don't quote me, but go look into it. What's up, JM? Yeah, anyone here, man, like, share, and subscribe. You know, we're on the way to 5,000. I'd say if I put a little elbow grease into it, I should be able to hit 5,000 subs by the end of September. And man, that's a real organic, from the bottom up, hard work, 5,000 subs. That's like a 30 video a month for 2 years. Live streams, recorded content, musical jams, community building events like the Kumite musical competition, things like that. So that's a true blue 5,000 subscribers. And I think that everyone says don't worry about numbers, don't worry about this, don't worry about that, but you know, I like to look at the numbers and the metrics because I'm a competitive guy, and when I think about what I'm doing, it's like this. I had a chat with Echo Craft the other day. We were talking about numbers, and he told me not to care about all that and stuff, and I get that point of view, but I was like, dude, if I'm going to the gym and I get fatter, then I need to like assess things. So like if I'm doing certain things on the channel and they're doing worse, what should I do? Just keep doing them? Or should I like really take a look and be like, all right, why are they not doing as good? Oh, why did this one do way better? What's happening? What do the people who really enjoy the channel, what do they like the most? And I know what people like the most on the channel. It's like live streaming, jams, hanging out, synth content, having chats. That's what people seem to enjoy the most, right? But people also like the the normies like the synth news. So, but it's a whole different audience. It's a different audience of people who come and hang out for a live chat and like being in the live chat. And if you've noticed, you go to live chats and there's like, you get a little bit of crossover, but from channel to channel, you go to Weaver Beats, you go to Tony Black, you go to Viral Beats, you go to Symptoms of Reality, you go to Pro Synth Network, Sonic State, any of these friggin' what do they call them? Producer people or whatever. You know, all the dudes with MPCs. You go to those guys. There's like a little bit of crossover of people, but everyone seems to have their own little tribe of people who actually just identify with the exact thing you're doing. And then you've got a bunch of people that if you throw a Behringer synth on a thumbnail, they're coming. You got a bunch of people, you throw a Moog on a thumbnail, they're coming. And then you got a bunch of people that if you got a Behringer on the thumbnail, the Moog people will unsubscribe and leave. And then if you got, you know, it's weird. So I got a real good crew around me of you know, rock solid dudes who I can count on and give me good advice and good mentorship. And you know, Hans Volt, Echo Craft, the Machines One specifically, 3 amazing friends right now. And you know, if I ever need counsel, those are the 3 dudes that I count on the most right now for any type of advice. And they're all so unique, and they all have such interesting and amazing personalities, and they're all super talented at what they do in every area of their life. They're extreme talents, and they're ride or die. They're all friggin' hard workers. So I mean, I'm blessed to have met, you know, everybody in the community, but you know, really blessed to have met those 3 dudes right now. I like that saying, I'm addicted to being dope. What's up, Simon Gretschback? What's happening? Viral Beats is on the road. Where's Viral? Where are you going these days, man? You're going, I think I checked out your video this morning, and you're in up near, what, Minnesota or something? You're on the road. What's up, Todd Bradshaw? Yeah, you're on the road, man. Cool. I dig the IRL content. Viral, have you ever thought about moving over to Kick? I was talking to Echo the other day, and YouTube is, it seems like for live streaming, they don't have they like pre-recorded more than live streaming. And I was looking into Kick the other day, and I was like, well, if you're going to do the IRL content, which is in real life, and you're going to do like a heavy live streaming based content, seems like Kick's the place to be, if you ask me. That's what I think. That's what I've been reading about. That's what I'm looking into. You know, that's what I'm thinking. It seems like it's, but I don't know. You got to look into it. Oh, Viral's headed to Monkey Island. Crazy. So you're going from, where are you? Where are you, in Oregon or Portland or something? Where do you live? California? And then you're driving across the country to go to Indiana, I believe, where the monkeys are. That's cool. You guys going to go to Sweetwater? The owner of Kick gets, I don't think so. I don't think the owner of Kick got, no, I don't think so, man. I mean, it's crazy stuff on Kick. Kick does, Kick is almost like what YouTube was back in the day, if YouTube started as a live streaming platform. So when YouTube started, it was like the Wild West. So if you want that, you got to go to BitChute if you want that in a platform now. If you want to be able to search anything, see anything, as BitChute. But Kick is like pretty much the Wild West. They're, you know, super free speech style, IRL, live streaming platform. You can upload vidits and stuff, but I think they're in Indiana. Maybe they're not in Indiana. I don't know. I think they said they were, but I can't remember. One billionaire owner got murked out of Kick. What do you mean? Did you mean like actually murked, or they just got cut out of Kick? Oh, sweet. 4,600 mile trip on the road. That's cool, Viral. Very cool, man. Cool stuff, dude. Synth blessed, baby. You're blessed to be able to take a trip like that. Enjoy every minute of it, man. Don't forget to stop and smell the synth roses. Yeah, murked? I don't know. I'd have to look into that. Rather go to Twitch than Kicks. Yeah, Twitch is again, again. It's like all about having your finger on the pulse, and Twitch is been here and has done that, and also has blocked a lot of free speech on there. And YouTube has been there, done that, also blocked a lot of free speech. And Kick is the new kid in town, right? So Kick is like the platform everybody's like, oh, that's just this and that and the other, and you know that's not going to go nowhere. And it's like it's already going somewhere. It's already beyond gone somewhere. It's basically the go-to place for IRL and live streaming right now. It just is. So maybe I'll move over to Kick. I told Echo the other day I was moving to Kick. I might move the whole show over to Kick. We'll see. No, it's gone. Nobody goes there. Nah, I don't think so, dude. You know who Aiden Ross is? It's not gone and go nowhere. The biggest live streamers on planet Earth are on Kick. What are you talking about? The largest live streamers with the biggest following are on Kick, and their profit sharing on Kick is way better than YouTube. What? YouTube ain't that bad. Like I said, you give a donation on YouTube, you get 70%. YouTube takes 30 off the top. But I think that's fair, to be honest. They're allowing you to do everything, host all your crap, allow you to go live anywhere, anytime, as long as you got an internet connection. They take 30% off the top. That seems like a good deal to me. Yeah, I'm going to move one show over to Kick. Just Samurai TV. I'll move it over to Kick just to give it a shot. The only thing is, I was looking at Kick. It's not as easy to use as YouTube. You just don't pop it open and hit go. You've got to, I believe, have a streaming platform linked in through RTPP, MPSML, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know how to say it, but no, you go there, right? But they're not synth community people, okay? They're not talking about synthesizers. There's nothing on there, bro. Give it a shot, try. Yeah, so what? They're not talking about synthesizers, but this is the thing. One person stands up and dances, everybody watches them. Two people stand up and dance, now everybody gets up and dances. So sometimes you got to be the first. So I think it's maybe a good thing to go over to Kick and be the first synthesizer guy on Kick. I think my content is like perfectly curated for Kick. I got live streaming, improv jams. There's a little bit of comedy in there. I go live all the time, so I can be streaming on Kick all the time. I kind of think it's perfect, to be honest. I'll just stay here on YouTube, yeah. Yeah, people can watch the shower stream. Just go check out the shower stream, dude. It was revolutionary. The first ever time an audience was able to take a shower with the together with the streamer. People went berserk for it. I had Forbes call me the other day for an interview, and my administrator answered the phone, and they yelled out to me. I was upstairs doing chin-ups, and they were like, "Samurai." I was like, "What?" They're like, "Forbes is on the phone." I was like, "Who?" He's like, "Forbes." I was like, "No, I'll tell him I'm going to bring the car in next week." And they're like, no, not Forbes friggin' mechanic. Forbes the magazine. I was like, "Oh, what do they want?" And they were like, "They want to know about that shower stream." And I was like, "Well, listen, tell them to go watch it. They'll find out all they need to know. And if they want the quick highlight reel, check out the mashup by Hans Volt." And yeah, I told them to take a message. So, Forbes. I don't know. Maybe they wanted to do a cover or something on Forbes. I don't know what they wanted to do. But I told them anything they want to do, all my stuff's open source. Go take it. I was watching Symptoms of Reality the other day, and Marilyn was showing a little clip of my video, and she said she didn't want to get copyrighted. You can't get copyrighted for using any of my content. You can only get copyrighted if I actually strike you or do it. And all my stuff's open source. Like I told everybody before, if anyone wanted to take my show, mash it up, chop it up, make fun of me, do whatever, make an anti-samurai channel where you just mash everything up, you can go do that. I don't care what you do. You know, if you want to take one of my songs, copy it, steal it, go for it. I don't care. Do whatever you want. All my stuff's open source. I don't care about any of that. So yeah, anybody wants to play my show, do whatever they want. Pretty much, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. I think the other platforms are mostly for gamers and such. I'm not into a gamer. Yeah. Other platforms are for platforming yourself. And to say that there's nobody over there that would enjoy your content is like, that's like saying if I go to the gym, I'm not going to get muscles. It's like, well, if you build it, they will come. If you go over, there's going to be people who are going to check it out. If it's interesting and you're interesting and you're putting in hard work and you're being creative, then there's going to be people who are going to enjoy it. What's up, Tony Black, baby? Yeah, man, you need a samurai bang bang boom boom. You know, I gotta get one of those Osbot cameras. I got an Osbot camera actually, Tony, and I like what you did with that shot where you got the Stream Deck. I got to get a Stream Deck. You hit the button and it goes right up onto the Grammy. That's nuts. Tony, your stream, dude, on was it Friday night or Saturday night? It was friggin' hilarious. I popped in the last end where you were doing what was it? What was it? Pegasus? Wings of the Pegasus? Take these broken knees, ride your skateboard to the half pipe of broken dreams. Yeah. Yeah, check out Tony Black's stream, man. Streams Friday nights, I think, 8:30 Friday or Saturday night, man. I love it, dude. I think it's hilarious streams. Gold, man. Fucking great stuff you're doing, dude. I actually was talking to the Machines One the other day. We were talking about how to improve the visuals of his stream, and I said, dude, if you want a master class on how to make your stream aesthetically beautiful, then go watch Tony Black's stream, man, because the cat's got the lighting and the background aesthetics are just, they're welcoming, comforting, and enjoyable. I said I could just sit there and just chill, and the way you got your background set up is awesome. It's visually, it's visual caviar, man. So anybody who asks me, you know, how can I improve the aesthetics of my stream and the backdrop or videos, I always send them to Tony Black, baby, because you nailed it, dude. Absolutely friggin' nailed it, brother. What's up, Harmonic Sonics? Great stream you did the other day, bro, from what was it called? Three Wave Music or something in New Jersey. Yeah, Third Wave Music. So Harmonic Sonics did a live stream from there. Awesome, bro. Cool stream. Sounded like you just did the greatest hits from the Kumite. I don't know. I thought I heard some Kumite tracks in there. I thought that was cool. Yeah, I know, Tony, man. That's the thing, dude. Sometimes you got it, dude. You don't even need to try. It just happens, you know. You walk into the bedroom, you flick off the lights, and well, bam, there it is, dude. It's just there. He never even tried it. That's a good expression. He never even tried it. Yeah, it wasn't live, but you did a couple. No, I mean, you were there live, weren't you? Or did you just record it there? Because you were live in the place doing the stream, right? I think, weren't you? Yeah, that's what we call synth humility. You know? Synth humility. That's what we call synth humility. I was live there, yeah. Live there, but not live streaming it. Yeah, I hear you. I try to tell everybody, man, just friggin' live stream everything. I don't know. Everything you do, just live stream it. You can always, like, chop it up later, make it into a video. You can pre-record it. The problem is the internet's so sketchy everywhere. Apparently, you went to the moon in 60 friggin' something, and they had a direct feed from the moon, crystal clear, and now I can't even get a friggin' good Wi-Fi signal in friggin' the heart of America. It's like, what? It makes no sense. I mean, does anybody still buy the moon landing story? Are we kind of like, are we past the point now of believing that nonsense? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we never went to that friggin' weird thing in the sky that, like, is the exact same size as the sun for some reason. Like, does no one find that weird that you got the moon, you got the sun. The sun is supposed to be, what, billions of times bigger, but yet they're always the same size in the sky? Weird. So did you go to the moon? I have no idea if anyone went to the moon. But one thing I do know is the crap that they fed you back in the day about going to the moon was bollocks. Ain't true, totally fake. I think it's like beyond proven fake at this point. And anybody who believes that nonsense footage and all that crap has got to give their head a shake. Like I said, I don't know what happened. I don't know if they're up there. I don't know if you can get up there. I don't know if it's inside or outside. I mean, you would assume that just the gravitational pull alone, with the distance that the Earth and the moon are apart, just the gravitational pull, if the gravity of this planet is so strong that it can hold all the water on the planet, then you would think that the gravity would just pull that moon right down, smash it into Earth. So that makes no sense to me. And another thing, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Echo. If gravity was actually real, it's called the theory of gravity too, by the way. It's a theory, you know. It's not like the proof of gravity. It's a theory of gravity. And I think gravity, to me, gravity is just density and weight. The denser and the heavier, the more it sticks to the ground. The lighter and less dense, the more it floats, aka gas, feather, balloon with helium. You know, I think it's density and weight is actually what's going on. And gravity, to me, is just a load of baloney, man. Just an absolute load of baloney. So yeah, moon landing, baloney. Gravity, probably baloney. You know, the sun being how far away they say it is, that's definitely baloney. I mean, I think if I got an F-22 Raptor right now, if Trump would loan me an F-22 Raptor, I would jump in that thing, and I bet you if I drove straight towards the sun, I'd hit it in probably about 25 minutes, maybe, if I drove straight at it. And then, I don't know what would happen then, but it definitely ain't as far away as what people say. The thing is I'm not, like, I can tell by looking at something. Like, when I'm looking at the sun right now, I'm staring right at it. I'm a sun eater. I learned it from the gurus of India. I eat the sun in the morning, and I eat the sun at night. And if you don't know what sun eating is or sun gazing, go look into it. I do it all the time. I've been doing it for like 10 years now. Sun eating like crazy. I'm looking at the sun right now. There's no way that's as far away as what people say. It just isn't. It just isn't. And how come nobody's actually tried to fly directly into it? Makes no sense. Nobody's even wanted to try? I mean, there's got to be some lunatic out there who's like, you know what? I'm going to try to fly right into that thing. How come nobody's took off and flown directly at it? Makes no sense. Solar gazing is the safest. Yeah, solar gazing, dusk and dawn, 10 minutes, start with a couple minutes. I'm looking in the sun right now. I could look in the sun right now for probably about an hour and a half straight and then turn away right away and see perfectly. Although I'd be right off. What else we got? Trader to the Living, the best live stream ever. Samurai puts ketchup on the sun. Yeah. Someone asked me for my great-grandmother's ketchup recipe the other day. I'm thinking about sharing it with everybody. I don't know. I'm thinking about sharing it. I was telling people the other day, I got some... this is a recipe from long, long ago, generations ago. It might end up being a couple thousand years old at this point because everybody thinks Heinz invented ketchup, and that ain't true. To be honest, I think one of my ancestors invented ketchup. But I got downstairs some ketchup wine brewing right now, okay? About 11% alcohol. And I've got some ketchup bourbon brewing down there in a barrel. And then I've got some ketchup beer brewing, okay? And it's just amazing to me nobody's done it. I mean, Heinz went and stole my idea, and they made the ketchup smoothie. They stole the red velvet smoothie from me. Someone at Heinz headquarters sent me an anonymous email the other day, and they told me that John Kerry and his wife actually watch that SYNTH show, and they were watching it one night, and they heard me talking about the red velvet ketchup smoothie, and friggin' John Kerry, the climate hoaxer, went and friggin' ripped off my idea, took it to his wife, and then they went straight to Heinz headquarters, and they got the boss to make a ketchup smoothie and released it. And that's fine. I don't mind. Like I said, all my stuff is open source. So guess what? You want to take the red velvet recipe and call it the Heinz ketchup smoothie? Go for it. It just promotes ketchup more. And one of my main goals on planet Earth is to be an ambassador for ketchup, okay? And we're not talking about the high fructose corn syrup, GMO'd, pesticide, friggin' riddled ketchup. We're talking about caveman ketchup. We're talking about the ancestral ketchup, okay? The ketchup that was brought to us by the gods, okay? The friggin' Anunnaki brought ketchup to my ancestors on those damn stone tablets, okay? Written in Sumerian. That was where the first friggin' ketchup recipe came from, and it was handed down to my ancestors and then handed down to me, okay? So Heinz and John Kerry, go nuts with your friggin' ketchup smoothie. But nothing beats the red velvet. So yeah, that's my goal these days, is to be an ambassador for ketchup. Oh yeah. All right, so I got to get ready to go to work now. We'll hit you up later. If you guys got any ideas for show ideas, let me know. I'm open to anything. I got my new little radio show that I'm doing Friday morning while I'm working. I do like a 3 a.m. I start work, and I'm going to do like a 30-minute radio style show. We're just kind of like shoot the crap, so I'm evolving that idea a little bit. And then I'm bringing back that synth show news drops, the 5 to 15-minute quick hitters about synth news. Synth Fighters back this Wednesday with me and Echo Craft, Wednesday night around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And SRM Radio's on the go over at the Synth Renegade Mafia channel. Lots of cool stuff happening. And then I got Oscillators and Percolators morning coffee show. I got these pop-up streams every blue moon. And yeah, we're just rolling, man. We're growing. Like I said, there's a rumor going around that my channel's about to pop. I got people beating down the door wanting me to shill their gear. And I think I'm just going to stay a shillbilly is how I'm doing it. The people want the shillbilly. You know, I am a shillbilly. People were wondering if I was going to go to the dark side and go full shill. The story arc of the Synth Samurai is not ready to go Hollywood at this point, but, you know, every great baby face becomes a heel at some point. So, you never know. But as of right now, thanks for the 99 cents, Echo. Appreciate it, buddy. I'm going to go throw that in a gumball machine on the way to work. Stop at the mall. Every great story arc, babyface goes heel. But right now, if you notice, I changed my logo back. I was drawn, I meditated, I prayed, and the message I got was, stay true to the cause, stay true to the renegades, stay true to the glaze, and don't sell yourself out no matter what they're offering you, you know? And if I was to tell you the amount of money I've been offered, it would friggin' make you guys sick. I almost took the money and then pulled the double super sharp knife truffle in the back of the Synth Mafia, and I was just gonna go downtown and give it to the homeless. But I said, that's too much work. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.